So have you ever been kicked out of an exam before? Because I really don't have time for this. Hey everyone, and welcome to Follow Me Through Grad School. And I have a confession. I feel like I really like you and you like me, so let's just make it official with a like and subscribe. Also, please make sure to keep up with me here on YouTube on Bizzy Nursing and as well as on my vlog on allnurses.com. I've had multiple people who just assume that since I'm on an online FNP program, that the program itself is less rigorous than a traditional program. That could be further from the truth. They are equally difficult. One of the reasons being that people assume that the rigor is different is examination. I've had people ask me,
hey, isn't it like super easy and online school, because you just look up everything for exams, right?
Wrong. In Simmons' online FNP program, we examined in 3 ways. The first being open book quizzes. So people falsely believe that open book quizzes are actually easier. In fact, they're actually harder than closed book quizzes. Why? Because it is assumed that you have access to resources. They ask very in-depth questions that require, a thorough understanding of the information. So memorizing and regurgitating is just not going to cut it here. You actually have to understand what they're talking about so that you are able to answer the question appropriately. The second is lifetime proctoring by the professor. So basically, as a student, you log into class, okay? And the professor needs to be able to see your face. So that means you need appropriate lighting. You also need appropriate noise level. We're all asked to put our computers and our phones on mute. Additionally, you are not able to get up, obviously during the exam. And then on another screen that will pop up, you actually, open the exam. And then when you're done, you just tell the professor, okay, I'm done, and then you log off. The third way is through Proctortrack. So how it works is that before you take the exam, you actually have to go to this Proctortrack website and then download the program onto your computer. And then when you're ready to actually take the exam, there's going to be a link on the exam that brings you back to Proctortrack. So Proctortrack is basically a program which helps to confirm your identity and also to monitor you while you're taking the exam. Once back on Proctortrack, it scans your face frontally, left lateral, right lateral, scans the back of your hand, your ID. It also asks for a blood sample. Okay, not really a blood sample, but damn near. On top of that, it checks out your mic. It checks to see if your computer is connected to any outside source. It also monitors your screen. So if you're opening up different screens or there's different notes on your screen while you're taking the exam, it is going to take a picture. Eye movement, so if your eyes are moving too much, up and down, all this, it shuts off. If you have, a drink of water, if you get up during the exam, if there's too much noise, it also shuts off, so you get the gist. So basically anything that you're doing out of the norm may cause it to shut off. And then when you're done with the exam, the site actually takes a recording of you take the exam, and performs further analysis. This week I had my first exam in advanced pharm and I was feeling not so confident, but you know what? In the end, I gotta do what I gotta do. So I downloaded Proctortrack. It was super easy. I logged in, everything was going well. And then so I was supposed to do my first pharmacology exam this week. So I was like, cool, I got everything ready. I was worried, but I was like, I finally felt, I was ready. I have the confidence to do this. So I'm doing the exam. Question 1, no problem. 2, no problem. 3, no problem. 4, I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this answer. Let me move on. Because if I don't know the answer immediately, I move on to the next and then come back at the end. And then it tells me, it kicked me off. So I was like super scared. I called my school and they're like, okay, we're gonna fix it. So we're doing it. And then it looks like I lost like 20 minutes on the exam, right? And she's like, oh, no worries. You get at the end. Cool. Then it kicked me out again. So I was like, wow. So she sent me to another lot higher level guy. He does his thing. I start the exam, it kicks me off. And then he takes off the old version, puts a new version. We do the whole face scanning and ID scanning that you have to do for the, to use Proctortrack. And yeah, it does it again. And of course my time is going. Yeah. So then he says, okay, well, you might need to just hardwire your computer to the internet. But guess what? I have a MacBook Pro and it doesn't connect by Ethernet. I need to get I think it's called a Thunderbolt. So I'm gonna go buy that now. By the time I come back, the exam time will be over. They said I have to call back to school. They'll set it back up. Just got my Ethernet cord, 14 foot, and my Thunderbolt to Ethernet connection. And now I'm heading back home. Wish me luck. As you can imagine, being kicked out of an exam is not the best feeling, okay? Because I'm already like kind of nervous, just already taking the exam. And then now to know that, you know, me being kicked out multiple times and not sure if I'm gonna get, you know, time to retake the exam. And then I was wondering, like, will my school think, you know, I'm being suspicious? Because it's like, why are you getting kicked out 5 times? But it's not my fault, like. And then when I called back, you know, after I got the hardware that was suggested, the first IT person I talked to said that, you know, the time's up and that they gave me 17 minutes and I didn't use it. So like, there's nothing to do for me. So then I had to re-explain the whole situation, which I thought was odd because I thought if you call IT, it's supposed to put all this in their notes or whatever. Luckily for me, I knew the name of like someone a little bit higher up in IT, and I, you know, asked to talk to them. And he was gracious enough to, you know, to tell me, okay, no worries, I'll give you the whole time for the exam. I took the exam, but you know, the whole time I was scared, like, am I gonna be kicked off again? You know what I mean? I'm not really even sure how, you know, how I did on the exam. I don't know. Because my emotions were all over the place. So I don't know if this ever happened to you. If this has happened to you, please let me know below. What did you have to do? So in the last 2 weeks of health assessment, we've gone over developmental stages across the lifespan and immunizations. But one thing I noticed about health assessment, which I'll probably rant about at a later date, has to do with like just the sheer number of slides and reading they want us to do. Like for instance, for these last 2 weeks, it's like, let me see, the slides are about like almost 500, you know, slides, you know, between 350, 500 slides each for the last 2 weeks. And that's not including reading and quizzes, case studies. So I'm wondering, like, how am I gonna learn? If you're giving me just off the slides alone, let's say the 500 plus 500 is 1,000 slides, how am I learning? Am I learning? So in my last class, Scholarly Inquiry, we had to write a paper on qualitative research. Why is it important? What's the difference between qualitative and quantitative research? Also, we had to submit our question for our research project. My group is going to focus on sexual adolescent health in primary care. Specifically, does primary care support adolescents in the manner in which they want to be supported in terms of like information? Are we providing them the information that they want? Or are we providing information that we deem is important, not really, you know, taking into account their input? For instance, in primary care, we'll give you information on, you know, let's say how to prevent STIs, but maybe we're not giving information on how to have a healthy relationship, sexual or non-sexual. Also what to do, for instance, if one is sexually assaulted, things of that nature. Remember, in primary care, one of our main objectives is to provide our patients with education and the tools so that they can improve their health and to deter health risks. Our group hopes to figure out how we can better educate and support adolescents so that they can make better informed decisions. All right, that's it for this week. Please like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. And remember, please fuel your passions and fulfill your purpose. See you next week. Bye.